Welcome to Loquacious Libations Halloween edition. Oh, you know what we don't have?
Oh, we don't have our mics on, of course.
Right, but we've only got two. Welcome to Loquacious Libations Halloween edition. Oh, you know what we don't have?
Oh, we don't have our mics on, of course.
Right, but we've only got two. Welcome to Loquacious Libations Halloween edition. Oh, you know what we don't have?
Oh, we don't have our mics on, of course.
Right, but we've only got two. You know what? Wait a minute.
Are we not
Okay,
live?
no, we are live. I don't understand why it was doing that.
Carl already kicks it in.
Good God. This is so crazy because that's the only thing open.
Fuck something up.
Every week we have tech issues of some kind.
I never see it when I watch it. It always looks clean to me. So
That's when
maybe
we
it's
start
gross,
going.
maybe
All right.
post-product production. I don't know.
No, we're going to wing it without the
Just
microphone.
swing it, man.
All right, there we go.
Welcome.
Welcome to Loquacious Libations.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
You guys fill it while I get our monitor going here.
All right, man. Well, let's just cut right to making cocktails.
Let's do it.
Well, then we'll do the introductions.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you get going.
We're doing Beetlejuice's Margarita. So Wayne Powers, right?
Hopefully he's out there.
I hope you're here tonight because we're finally making a margarita, which you've been asking us to make for a long
Can
time.
you turn the volume all the way down on that for the moment for me? Thank you, sir. That way we don't bleed through anything accidentally. All right, we got Tater Dom, Ogie Fox Dad. Ogie, good to see you out there. That's husband of my old manager from Borders Express.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Tater Dom, you're gonna have to tell me who you are if you know us. I don't recognize that name. We got 5 folks out there though, so welcome. Let's do the Beetlejuice Margarita.
There are many iterations of this. We're doing the blue curacao iteration of it. It's also made with melon liqueur from time to time. I don't know who invented it. It's been around for a while since the first film.
Right.
And it's, it's tequila and juice and a sweetener and let's go. I mean, basically that's it.
Kevin
It's
and
an
Lee,
all
welcome.
equals parts kind of deal.
Cool. Kevin is with us. Lee is with us. Lee, thank you for the clapboard. We used it.
View. Some blue there.
Yeah, that is a dusty.
That's dusty. Gotta use it for something.
You picked a good time to have me on. I mean, I like margaritas. So
Sweet.
that's good call.
Well, unfortunately, I forgot my limes, so we're not doing salt rim.
Because Hatter didn't have one.
But here, how this is made, just so everybody knows, what we're doing is equal parts tequila, lime juice, pineapple juice, and blue curacao, which should turn that somewhat of a wacky green color, just like Beetlejuice's hair.
Right.
It'll be more blue though.
Yeah, we're even using my glass mixer tonight so you guys can see it. Ooh, there you go. Very nice. While he's mixing this up, I'll go ahead and go over our social media. Of course, you guys are watching us on YouTube, but we do still have our Facebook at Loquacious Libations and Instagram at Loquacious_Libations.
There you go, Derek, you're first up.
Guess gets the first one, and then while you're doing the second ones, the other ones, we'll go ahead and go through the introduction.
So bad drinking without you guys.
We'll catch up with you.
Yeah, don't worry. How's it
Don't
taste?
worry about that.
It's on point.
Yeah?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
So tonight we have with us the Pumpmaster. This is Derek Frazier. He was part of the team that helped save my life.
Yeah.
So
I always said I was just kind of what was the verbiage I use? A little kink in the gear or kink in the wheel, because so many people had hands in that. I mean, you had all the nurses, all the physicians, and
absolutely.
I felt I was
so many people instrumental in keeping me around.
Yeah.
As it was with Scott.
Yeah.
So the reason we're having Derek on here is because it is right between our anniversaries. My anniversary was October 27th. It would have been 7 years since you and I met for the first time.
That's it.
Actually, at this point, you and I hadn't officially met. You were sitting there watching me while I was in a coma.
Yeah, no, we hadn't, we hadn't met, and I think when we first did meet, you obviously had no idea. You had no idea that I'd been there for weeks.
Right.
Taking care of you, and being there bedside with you. You had no idea. I was like, hey, man, I've been here every day, And
I wake up and I see everybody I know except this tall guy standing in the back,
like,
and they introduced me to him. And,
yeah, like who's this guy? And I introduced myself and told you, and I said, man, you don't remember? And obviously he was like, I got no idea, So it was. I have to say, man, for me, early on, that was just early on, kind of in my impeller career. So I was the medical device rep that took care of him, just kind of monitored, one piece of the equipment that you were on. Because I saw the pictures you posted on Facebook, and it reminded me, I was like, dude, I completely forgot, like, just how much stuff that you had. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I was saying it was just, I was just like one little piece of it, and I mean, that was early on in my career. So for me to have a patient like you, I was just kind of like, whoa. I was like, man, this is, you were at the time one of my sickest, patients that we've ever had. That I ever had. I was like, oh man. I was like,
don't know is he's still a sick motherfucker.
Oh, I know. Well, he's figuring that out tonight. I'm
just in a different way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
in a healthy way.
That's right.
Well, Derek, thank you for what part you did play and for making sure that I'm still here.
That's right.
Absolutely. Man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah. It's not bad, man.
That's the first time I've had it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull.
I mean, it's not a typical margarita.
No,
but it ain't bad.
It's got a little bit of a bite to it, because of the pineapple.
And it misses the salt a little bit.
Yeah.
And now you said it's the Beetlejuice.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah. Beetlejuice Margarita.
Yeah, the ghost with the most.
So if you say it 3 times, do the margaritas appear?
Yeah, I think we said
No,
it twice.
A snake comes through the wall.
Oh, okay. All right. So we won't do that tonight.
Yeah, we only have one more. One more and that's it.
Gray Man Lee says he's still kind of sick. This Gray Man on here is my my lead guitar player from 30 years ago.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. That's great. That's great.
And let's see, Ogie says, I'm pre-gaming with Mott's Caramel, Apple Juice, and Zachariah Harris. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, Mikey. Kevin, by the way, says, if y'all spank Hat for his birthday, I'm logging out. So please, we don't go there.
No.
Oh, man.
So, hey.
Yeah.
Before we get into craziness
and tangents and all that kind of stuff, let's go ahead and...
yeah, because one of the things, I don't know if you catch this when you pop in and see our live streams, but we always say, hey, it's 1 part bartending, 2 parts bullshitting.
Oh yeah.
And we talk a little craziness, but we say leave the craziness out there. Come on in, have fun, and have a cocktail with us.
And you know what I didn't think about until just now? Derek was actually in on some of the early inception of Whiskey Wednesday.
Very true.
Oh
yeah, even though it really was just drinking beers at Lucky's.
Yeah.
Beer at Lucky's. And I think that was when you were living over here.
It was. I mean, that was my
door over here.
Yeah. I mean, that was my. I'd get done to be late. And we live right here.
Right.
Yeah. So
that makes sense now.
We lived right here, and I was like, Lucky's was there, and I was like, that's great. I can just pop over and
have a.
I can go
great
and have a pint, man.
Yeah, they had a great assortment. I mean. That was, I miss Lucky's.
I do too. I really do too.
Well, what was great is I could tell my wife, I could tell my wife, babe, is there anything you need from the grocery store? I'm gonna go shopping real quick. So that got me off the hook a few times, but then after a little while, she kind of realized you kind of want to go shopping every single day, and I was like, man, they got this nice little brewery up here, so yeah. But that was Yeah, that was right. So it's funny because I told a handful of people about like today. I was just like, oh man, I got some passing Pella patients, and and so I pulled up that picture.
Oh. I
still
that is
still
the
got
picture for him on my phone.
On your phone.
It's
the picture of the
the
three of us.
picture.
Yeah,
that's it.
I saw it come across my memories the other
That's
day.
it. Yeah, me too. So I was like, I said, man, it was awesome. Like, I'm so glad, Facebook kind of, throws that in there.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it always makes me think of like, oh man, that was, and it's amazing because dude, that was
God, that's
months after,
Yeah.
a handful.
It was
less than
a year.
It was less than a year.
Less than a year, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, because it was in 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the picture was from
Probably about
December.
when we moved me in here.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Well, it was in December. Probably hadn't been. Because the
Yeah,
picture's
okay.
like December, I think 18th. That's on there.
That's right. So that would have been my first Christmas in this apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I'm trying to remember how.
18. No. Yeah. Something like it. I'll look it up later.
So I'm trying to remember how we kind of saw each other. Because if I'm not mistaken, I can remember this. I normally had they had the bar. Well, they had the actual bar that you get your drink, but then they had the bar that you would stand.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I would just kind of just stand there, kind of a lot of times just kind of leaned up against it, just having
in that corner right there by the door.
That's it. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I saw your hat.
Was I wearing one of them?
Right.
That
You had that one, yeah. You
This
had,
one.
you had that one on.
I don't think I had the white one yet.
I don't think you did.
That's the one
Mike sent me
This
the white one.
this was the one that was in the picture.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember if how did we see each other, because I know you wouldn't have recognized me, and I probably
Actually, I
I'm
probably
trying to
would have it that one. I've always been incredible with faces.
yeah, I'm trying to remember
Scott will tell you that.
if I saw the hat and was like, wait a minute, like who? Because at that time,
I
man, there
remember
was.
being absolutely surprised, and you were behind me at the time. It was the two of y'all that keyed off on.
Because I think I saw, because I remember at the time there was nobody. I mean, nobody outside of me there was nobody else that represented Abiomed,
right,
except for me. And so I'm like,
we were sitting.
where did you get that hat from?
It just came to me. We were sitting at the tables. You were facing the window. I was facing the inside of the store, and Derek was over there by the bar, and the two of y'all saw each other.
And I think that's when I walked up, and I was like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, the hat gave it away.
Now you're jogging my memory enough, and then I was like, I pulled that out. You were like, oh, you got one of those,
dude. So yeah.
So just so
people know,
everybody, we'll show this.
Wow. Yeah.
This is a piece, a very end piece of the device that was instrumental in saving Michael's and Hatter's and my life, basically. Yeah. So, and this is, now according to Derek, there's very few people that have these.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have one. That's a select few have.
This is my lucky charm.
Yeah,
that's the kind of the way I look at it. I'll never let it go.
That's super awesome, man. That's so cool. I think I was lucky enough.
Shannon gave me this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think she might be watching tonight? Did you tell her you were going?
I did not. No, I did not. I did not tell Shannon. But there was somebody. I'm trying to remember who gave me one. And I do have one now at the house. So I feel like I'm part of like the in crowd. Because dude, that was super. I remember when I first saw one. There was somebody that had been with Abiomed for years, and and we were, I don't know, we may have been at a business meeting or something like that. They threw their backpack up and it was clipped off the side of their backpack. And I looked and I was like, what the hell is that? And they're like, oh man, you ain't got one of these yet? And I'm like, well, no, dude. Like, oh, this is the motor inside of the impeller, or this is the impeller inside of the impeller. And I'm like, And I'm like, oh man, I'm not at that level yet, I guess, you know. And they're like, oh man, they don't make these no more.
Yeah.
Like, they don't make the.
Well, I didn't know
you
that until you told me.
Until you show,
Yeah. You know,
when you
you
show
know
me
how rare that is.
Dude, it's rare, man. I guarantee you, there's not many people. Like if you send this video out to Abiomed or whoever, and people watch that, like a lot of people will be like, dude, I want one of those because they don't make them anymore. They don't do that kind of little keychain with
that promo trinket.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Well, you know, I got so many promo trinkets.
Dude, when you get me a hat?
Dude, that's like a Minogue. Dude, I don't even have a hat. I've never seen an Abiomed hat. Now we have a black one, I think.
Oh man, I've got so much shit from Mike. You know, if he happens to ever see this live stream or video replay,
that's cool.
I mean, I've got gooey stuff that you squeeze. I've got an umbrella. I got a Christmas ornament. I got paper to write notes on with the logo.
Yeah.
I got. It was like every you know, his big thing was always St. Patrick's Day. So every March, he would send something out. You know,
by the way,
a promo item.
Lee says,
and I was always on the list.
He says, sounds like you're describing a submersible pump. Basically, yes, right?
Yeah, I mean,
well, can you describe how
I mean,
it
it's
works?
basically a sub pump. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, if you think of a sub pump, and that's really what an impella is. I mean, the tip of it goes inside your left ventricle, which
they put
is
it
the
in
main,
through your leg.
Yep, through your leg.
Femoral.
You know, follow the artery up your leg into your heart, and because all roads, you know, lead to the heart. Actually, all roads kind of lead, you know, from the heart. But into the leg, you follow that artery up. Your aorta goes into the left ventricle, which is the main pumping chamber of your heart. And there's basically a tube that sits in that main pumping chamber. Outside of that main pumping chamber is where that little impeller device spins, and it pulls volume or blood out of your left ventricle and pushes it to the rest of your body. So for these two guys, your hearts were weak and couldn't push the blood out, and the impella did it for you.
Yeah, and here, I mean, I know the whole spiel.
Yeah.
You know, it prevents what a lot of people like us, before the inception of this product, they would make it through the event, but then would inevitably they would die because the rest of your organs, your heart just isn't strong enough to pump enough blood to the rest of your organs, and you go into cardiogenic shock. But that's what it's called. Am I correct?
That's right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, and I remember reading the literature. After my event, which is 2013.
So you're 11 years on the 11th of November. 11 years ago.
God, it doesn't seem that long ago.
No, it doesn't.
And you were
I remember the day that I got the call.
I was the first at North Florida.
You were?
Yeah.
Do you remember your physician's name? Because I do.
Well, I actually had 3 guys.
Who did your case?
O'Meara was the
there you
lead.
go. That's it. Yeah.
Which is he still working?
Yeah, he's still around. He's not.
But I know he had a back problem.
He did.
For a
He
long
had a
time.
couple of you know, he had some back issues.
Yeah.
And he is still practicing.
Yeah. Good.
He's still practicing.
I haven't been in there in a while.
He's not in the lab, cathing, like he used to. Yeah, I mean, because.
I mean those guys. Right. That's their problem.
Yeah, but he. I see him around. Still great guy, great personality. Man. I've always loved Jay O'Meara. He's really good dude. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was one that did.
He was me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the doctor. I have the cards in my wallet, but one of the doctors in my case looked at Jay and said, "What are we doing here? We're working on a dead guy."
Yeah.
And every time I see him, because I've run into him like sporadically, and he'd be like, "You're the guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the dead guy." Last time I saw him in Publix, and I said, "Hey, I'm the dead guy," and he's like, and he started laughing because he even said, he said, "Geez, you look like you lost a lot of weight since I last saw you." So that was a nice compliment.
Yeah.
I saw Dr. Aranda in the tunnels the other day.
Oh, very nice.
And passed
Yeah.
him. Now, you know, I do that tunnel several times a day.
Oh yeah.
And I use it for my exercise. So I'm going at a pretty good clip going through there, right?
I know, dude. There's a lot of times that we've seen each other
I know
over
he passes,
years
he said that.
at Shan's, and dude, I can't get to him or get his attention quick enough. I mean, because dude, he's gonna move, man. He's gonna move, and I may be like on my phone trying to text a physician or text somebody, and I'm like, see, I got something to do, and I kind of look up, and I'm like, but yeah, but hey, I try to get his, Mike, and dude, he is.
Every once in a while,
He's gone. Every once in a while we catch each other, but yeah, he's.
So you know how quickly I walk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
My dad taught me walk with purpose. I do.
Yeah, there's no, Dad should be happy about that one.
So I'm scooting down the tunnel the other day, and he passes me, and as I pass him, he goes, "Man, you're working harder than I am."
That's super cool. That's
I had
awesome.
just gotten it cleaned over
Yeah.
a couple of days before that too. So that was
Very
cool.
nice.
That's good.
Yeah, Dr. Aranda's. I've worked with him before. You know, I was at Abiomed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Very cool.
so I worked in the cath lab as a CVT, a cardiovascular technologist, and I did that.
Oh, that's the stepping stone to become an Abiomed rep.
Yeah. I mean, if that's it, that's kind of where the next step. And for me, that's kind of where I wanted to go. But from the cath lab, I knew I wanted to go to kind of like medical device industry. But at the time, I loved being in the cath lab. Loved working with those guys and doing what they do. So I just need to make sure that they're
You
was
came
a good
in-
company.
You came in at really almost
Oh, yeah,
the
right
opportune
time. Yeah.
time.
Definitely the right time for me, if nothing else.
That's right. So it's so interesting that you say that, because I mean I remember when I was working in the lab, and Abiomed and Pella was it was kind of really a niche product, and new. At that time, and I remember when I got approached by the individual that talked to me, I was like, and he said, "What do you think of I work for Abiomed. What do you think of the Impella?" And I was like, "Dude, it's great. I think we should use more of them here."
Right.
And that I knew that product. Well, at that time, I thought I knew that product. Much better than I actually did. But I knew that product, and I was like, "Oh man, this thing's awesome. Yeah, this is a game changer. We really need to, this is something I can really sink my teeth into." And I mean, here I am 7 years later. So
Right.
so yeah. But I worked with all those boys then. Like all those guys, like Dr. Aranda, I was in the when he was doing the cases, in the lab. Like I was there with him, and now he's kind of moved up the chain, there at Shan's, but
He's still my direct physician.
yeah, well, that's awesome, man. If you can hang on to him,
Still calls me his miracle.
That's it, man. If you can hang on to him, don't lose him.
That may be why he's kept me though too. If nothing else, it might be.
No, this
I'm
is true.
keeping
This
This
is
guy.
true. But yeah, I mean, I worked with all those guys for 11
That's so
plus
cool.
years.
And let me point this out. My daughter, Allie. Your involvement with her. So
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah, so that's
about that. Now we know that Allie. I mentioned this before. Allie was inspired by my case to specialize and go into nursing with this, and is now a registered cardiac invasive technician.
RCIS, yeah.
Or-
So
or
same,
specialist, excuse me.
yeah. So same license that I have. So yeah, so that was really cool. I remember, I remember a meeting, if I'm not mistaken, Allie.
You met her when I had my heart attack.
Yeah, and
She was already
just
in nursing school at Santa Fe at that point.
yeah, and I think that there was just after seeing everything that took place with you, and then kind of discussing everything with me, she was
And
like,
Allie's here, by the way.
she wanted, oh, that's awesome. So she wanted to know, kind of like, hey, like what, and I think that was something that kind of like inspired her a little bit to say, hey, like, what is it that you guys do? And, and then I remember, at that time, explaining them maybe a little bit, to her, kind of going down that pathway.
Right.
But what was even more cool was, because I mean things move so, especially when you're doing which with everybody's busy and everybody, kind of lost touch a little bit with her until I saw her in her clinical rotations, and I believe it was at Shands, and then she reminded me. I was like, oh my God! I was like, you did it! And I was super stoked. I was like, man, that's so awesome. So I like to think that I'm sure you had the bigger impact. The Misha just probably wanted to know, where did this device get put in at? Like, what do these people do? And I mean, for anybody, man, being a CBT or RCIS is, it's a phenomenal career.
She's living in Colorado now, and is actually traveling.
I'm almost envious. I'm like,
well, she's still in Colorado, and she's currently on a contract.
On a contract.
And Allie, I hope you're okay with me saying this, but she is looking to maybe come here for a little while too.
Very nice.
Which would be great.
That would be super.
Because I'd like to
awesome.
see you again.
Around Christmas time, she may be looking.
If you do, you find me. I'll be. You can't miss me at any of the hospitals around here.
Keep an eye out for her around.
I sure will. Yeah. Super. That'd be super cool. Super cool.
No, you know what? Here, Allie, if you come back and you're in the area, well, you'll be a guest on our live stream.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And she's going to be here around Christmas time, so I've already talked to her about coming in and doing this too.
That's
maybe
awesome.
we can have you in at the same time.
Dude,
that would be awesome.
I would be more than glad to come back, especially if you're firing up drinks like this.
This is pretty tasty. I'm almost done with mine. You still barking another?
Yeah, now you know the rule.
We're just one.
You got two guys driving home tonight.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, no, we kind of have a rule. We do what we say.
We always do this responsibly.
For a couple weeks in a row, we did two, and then I was like, man, I gotta stay here for like an hour or two because I'm fucking looped right now. If I get pulled over, I'm going to jail. So I would end up staying till like 11:30 to get my liver process the alcohol.
I mean,
I'm good with company.
I feel like you only put one one shot. I feel like it was kind of weak, to be honest with you.
Well, you're telling me you want another one? Are you calling me a weak ass, or are you telling me you want another one? What are you telling me?
Fucking shots, man. They're very good. And like I said, you picked a good time to do margaritas, because I love margaritas. I like to do spicy margaritas. I don't know why, but like
a little hot.
Yeah, with a little
jalapeno.
Little jalapeno action.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
We may have to try that sometime.
Yeah, that's
kind
of been like one of my go-tos.
But this is one of my college jobs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I picked up. I think I remember him saying like you're bartender.
I kicked footballs for 2 years. And then after two seasons of not really playing very much and figuring out that, well, I'm never going to make a career out of kicking footballs since I can't kick past 42 yards.
Probably not.
Not the guy that's going to go on and play in the NFL. So I said, well, I better get serious about the books, and I stopped playing football and started. At first I started at a hotel bar, and then I left that because the hours sucked, and I went to the student union and slung beer for a while, and then got a job at an upscale college bar, which was a nutso bar, but drinking lots of rail drinks, and we've had some stories on here about some of that nonsense.
I mean, you probably made good money doing that, though.
College kids don't tip well.
Oh, well, this is true.
They drink a lot, and they.
I was about to say they drink a lot. Yeah, for sure.
That there was other benefits to this that I'm not going to really get into because I know my wife watches this live stream from time to time.
Did your wife come there and have a few drinks?
No, what's funny is it was a big school, 50,000 students, kind of like here, but and it was in a much bigger town than this. So we were there at the same time, but I had no idea who she was.
Oh, dang. So. Hey man, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Very true.
Very true.
Yep.
So you want to run through the craziness roundup right quick?
Yeah, what's the craziest roundup?
The craziness roundup.
We talk about the outside crap that we leave out there for just a couple of minutes to basically give a time reference.
And we kind of demonstrate the hypocrisy of
some of what's
the
movie.
The movie that we're watching. That is the political world and kind of the crazy world.
You got 7 days, man.
Yeah.
7 days.
I know. Well, today was.
Hopefully, all the text messages.
Oh God! We were talking about that before you got here.
Dude, I got messages from like asking me to vote in Carolina for some reason. I have
oh my gosh!
They're like, oh, this is Carolina,
That's
Republican.
That's the craziness.
Like,
I think we figured out why we didn't get any mail-outs, because remember we talked about that on here several times about not getting anything in the mailbox.
That's true. There's
Well,
been very
those
all of a
increased,
sudden
but
they've
they're not-
come,
yeah,
but it's all the
they're-
local races.
Right, but now it's just text messages.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because it's a lot cheaper.
It's true.
Yeah.
And somebody monitors them too, because like I get ones from North Carolina, you know, or South Carolina, and I'll just, you know, and I'll post, you know,
Why the hell are they
go
texting
go
you?
Cox, you know, I'll go Gamecocks, you know, like I mean, so I get them. I have no idea, you know. I mean, a lot of people have my number. I mean, I'm sure my number is like in the bathrooms around all the hospitals and stuff. So a lot of people have my number, but I have no idea. I've received, text messages on, you know, everything from, you know, vote for Kamala, vote for Trump, say yes on 3.
Yeah,
no,
all
of it. All of it.
So well, I've been getting them all over the place too. And you know what I do? I just report them as junk.
I love kind of messing with them.
I just delete them. I'm so tired of it. It's like, oh my God. It's like,
you know, I'll get ones that be like, hey, are you voting for Donald Trump? And I was like, I thought Newt Gingrich was still running. I know I'll mess with them to kind of hope, hope they kind of look and be like, we might not want to text this guy again. This guy's probably casino. He doesn't know what's going on.
Funny enough, my uncle actually knew Newt Gingrich.
Really?
Yeah, he used to be the mayor of a little small town in Flovilla, Georgia. You ever heard of Flovilla?
Can't say I know.
Okay, Flovilla is kind of near Jackson.
The only small town in Georgia I know is Bluffton.
I don't think I even know that one.
Well, that's a little south of Albany.
Oh, okay.
Or it's all in that area.
You said it right.
Albany.
You said Benny instead of Benny.
Yeah, Benny. I've been corrected on the phone when I've talked to the farm that I buy beef from that's in Bluffton, Georgia.
Oh, Bluffton, there you go. No, but Flovilla is this little tiny town around Indian Springs and Jackson, Butts County. B-U-T-T-S, yes, Butts County. There's a joke there, I know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Are you allowed to take a bathroom break like during?
Well, yeah, if you gotta pee, go tap it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
close the door so they don't hear it.
Well, we don't have the mics on, so we're safe this week. Now, you know, the craziness, though, did you see this? That we're watching, we've said this many times, we're watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So could it get any more scripted than the current resident of the White House saying Trump voters are garbage? And as Trump gets off his plane today in Wisconsin, he gets into a garbage truck.
A mega truck.
Garbage truck donned with the mega regalia, and dons an orange workman's vest and conducts a press conference through the passenger side window of the truck.
Now,
I mean,
one further point.
What planet are we on?
The current resident of the White House also made this comment campaigning for the hopeful resident of the White House, who was at the time making a speech about unity.
Yeah. It's so nuts. Oh, it is so nuts.
Oh my God.
But you know, the other thing we were talking about is
that?
here in Florida, the Florida ballot stuff,
Right.
and how misleading this some shit is.
Oh man, it really is. I mean,
And I couldn't know
like,
this.
Amendment 2 is hunting and fishing, like you said, freedoms for hunting and fishing.
Right, the right
What-
to
what
for
we're
everybody
talking
to hunt and fish. Well, I now here my daughter, who is an environmental studies major here at the University of Florida. All right, ecology major. I go, don't ask me. She's gonna yell at me. I don't know. But she's like, have you read that? Have you read the bill? Do you know what it's about? And I said, well, it's the right to hunt and fish. You already have the right to hunt and fish. I said, yeah. I said, so what are you telling me? She goes, what that does is it allows the state to contract private developers to build golf courses and resort hotels on state parks.
Yeah, the stuff
She says,
hidden.
that's the purpose of that
Really?
particular amendment. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I mean, it doesn't surprise me how politics works. It's just always, you know,
Well, we already know too
everybody's
that there
watching
are
everybody's
similar-
hand.
Right, but we already know there's similar lies in both the advertising and the summaries of other amendments that we're facing here in Florida too. Others that we won't necessarily mention in some cases.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
You
just like Amendment 3 to the right to legalize marijuana.
right.
Well, that's all fine and good, but you can't grow your own.
Right.
You could still go to
It's-
jail for growing your own. So,
Right.
I mean, that kind of defeats
It's-
the purpose. Every
Well,
other
here-
state that legalizes it, you can grow your own. Why, you know?
Well, it's kind of fishy that you would have to purchase it from the specific manufacturer
from
that pays for
The vendors,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
I mean, so,
The vendors that are paying for this amendment.
Well, I think I heard too that
I think that's going to pass, though.
It very well might, but I mean, one thing that worries me too, though, is that there's no restrictions on it. I mean, no public restrictions or anything like that. So,
Well, that's been the governor's complaint.
yeah, and you know,
Well, I think
researched
DeSantis
it.
is-
Okay, yeah.
He's against
saying
it,
no.
that amendment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that too. I mean, you can't carry an open container around walking around the street with it. You know, as far as that goes.
Well, you're not supposed to.
Right. But, exactly. And people do get away with it, but it's not exactly all out in the open all the time. And I think that might make it all out in the open all the time. You know?
It could be.
Oh,
I don't know.
hopefully
Have you been to New York City lately? Because it's out in the open there in a
Oh.
big time way.
And illegal anyway, right?
I don't know. I don't really. But the last time I was there, which was actually for an Abumet thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Very
we
nice.
stayed in
Awesome.
Times
Full circle.
Square. We stayed in Times Square, and we all gathered in the lobby of the hotel, and we were going to dinner, and then to a show. We were on our own that night, and we walked out of the hotel, and it was like, whoa! I mean, it was like a waft of, because we were just adjacent to Times Square. It was like, I looked, and I'm like, there's like probably literally a couple hundred people
Right.
smoking reefer in the open air. You know, so I understand the governor's concern with that.
They all had prescriptions.
No, right. And up there, I mean, the cops, they don't give a shit about that stuff.
Right. And really, they kind of shouldn't. But I just don't believe this amendment is the right way to do it personally. You know, as far as what I've read about it and researched on it and all that. But and that's what we're talking about. Is there's so much deceptive advertising going on around these amendments. I mean, like the radio ads and everything.
All
you
of
see
it.
Here. Yeah.
Well, you see, you know, for me, I mean, what I've seen a lot of that, you know, you see a lot of like the local cops, or maybe not even local cops, but cops around the state saying that, like, you know, say yes on Amendment 3 because it's going to keep, you know, fentanyl out of, you know, marijuana, and it's
that
going to
part
help
makes sense.
for the, you know,
Yeah, no, that.
you know, I mean, so there's,
That part
I think
really
there's,
truly does make sense.
I think there's pluses and minuses to.
Well, here,
you know,
I think
so-
we can all agree that the black market is generally a bad idea.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
And that
it
does
generally
unwrap
is
the black
because
market.
it's unregulated.
Unregulated.
It's
Yeah.
it's you know, and here, the cartels, they don't give a shit about anybody but
Right.
the dollars in your pocket. That's all they give a shit.
Right.
Right.
They don't care about you. They care about Andrew Jackson. You know, I mean, that's really it.
Very true.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and maybe if you, I guess their thought is that if you regulate who's growing it, who's this, but the way that I see, my thought is like, well, if you do that, then it's only, you're basically turning a, marijuana treatment, where people get, you're licensed to be able to smoke and all that. You're basically turning that almost into like a big pharma to a degree, right?
Right.
Correct.
So
I mean, I think it's really on its way to becoming that. And Trump has even said that if he get both of them, I think have
He's
said
actually
now.
voting yes.
But he has come out and said that he wants to completely, right now it's moved from a class 3 drug to a class 4 drug now, I think.
Yeah, so.
But I think that he wants to completely take it off the schedule.
Well, I think I heard the other day. I think like I think DeSantis said that there's nobody that's like in jail, like long term or like that's actually strictly for marijuana.
Well, that's because of the black
any,
market.
Yeah.
The black
In the state of Florida.
In the state of, but if you think about it, probably any state, if you're dealing marijuana, you're probably, hey, what else you got? I mean,
Right. As far as the black market
you got, yeah. What else you got? I mean,
right. That's the way it has been all through history too.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's always been the what's the term? The gateway. Like the gateway drug or something like that.
Yeah, I've never
I've never
bought into that myself.
Yeah.
But
that's always been the
that's
verbiage.
been the language.
The language. That's the
That's
gateway drug.
The
Right?
regulatory language on it.
Yeah.
Lee says, by the way, it sounds like you're describing our government or a cartel. I can never tell the difference.
Yes.
Fair. That's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah. But
the craziness,
And that's what we do here, Derek. What we always say, if you haven't seen this,
we spent a lot of time on it last week, which I was like,
actually most of the show, I think.
too much.
Yeah.
I think it got under both of our skins a little bit last week.
And obviously we're both a little more relaxed about it this week too. But basically the reason we even do this is not for the drinking part of it. It's about getting together with a friend at least once a week and decompressing, getting away from all this outside craziness that we talk about this much, and doing exactly what we're doing here, just having a good time.
Well, I think this week, and you're probably gonna need it this week, and maybe even more so next Wednesday.
Oh my God.
Too, because I mean you're I mean from now to then, man, it's gonna come full
I'm almost
blast.
thinking it's now until January 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
I mean, because I hate to see what's gonna, I hope I'm not foreshadowing, but I hate to see what is gonna happen if Trump wins, and he wins in a way that's very obvious. It's like, you could have cheated your way out of that, or you could cheat your way into it, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What's going to happen when I'm hoping that 2020 was not foreshadowing 2024.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see.
But
regardless,
we're watching a movie.
Yeah.
We're watching
Allie, by the way, says,
Yeah.
just wait till you move to Boulder County. The kids here are even weird. So I don't know if that was about the pot part of it.
Yeah, so I can imagine it was funny, me and my wife, I mean, we went up to, we've been in Colorado, before, but not recent, but then we went to, Seattle, and,
it's just another.
Yeah, and, it was right after open, and, man, it was wild. So where we were sitting at Airbnb, and not far from there was the like pot shop dispenser, whatever whatever you want to call it. So
liberals and their offspring.
Yeah,
so that's what she's talking about.
That too in Colorado, I'm sure. So we go. We're like, let's go see one of these, warlocks, So we go in there, and, so we walk into this thing, and I mean, man, it's, it's crazy, So, we're just kind of like walking around, and I guess that, and I don't know, neither one of us smoke, but I mean, I'm assuming that if we wanted,
You're there, yeah, you could.
I guess if we wanted to, we would have. Now that I'm thinking, I'm like, well, I guess we didn't have a car or nothing, but we just like wanted to see. And dude, we were just walking around like we were almost like, holy hell, look at all that, we were just like laughing, and the names were great, Carolina Kush, and all these, all these great, I'm like, this is great.
It's great marketing.
No,
it's great.
And so then we leave and we just start, we just kind of walk down, more, and it was the thing that it's just like, man, like, yes, it's great, it's legal on anybody, but like, you just walk the streets and you're like, dude, all these people are stoned, man. Like we're walking by, and it's like, and to me, I'm kind of like, well, it's different. It's like alcohol. Some people have alcohol and they get loud, obnoxious. Some people have alcohol and they just kind of chill and they just mellow out.
Right.
I mean, and I think some people are different with the weed, because we saw all sides of the spectrum when we were walking, and we're like, what is going on? And we're like, maybe that's a little bit more than marijuana, but maybe they just, had a little appetizer of that before they went on their, harder stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting to kind of just, to see that, as far as like a city like that, to where it's just like, man, it's just open, just whoever wants to go and grab at it. But I mean, we can sit and talk all day about stuff like that, and it's like, marijuana legal or not, but I mean, alcohol is the same thing. I think about how many people same thing, right?
Oh,
and this is probably the most addicted drug that there is, and
what's funny? We say all the time, our favorite day of the week is Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's because we get together and bullshit, but I would be lying if I didn't say I enjoy having a cocktail too.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I do.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of like, guys getting together on the weekends, going to watch some football. You're going to grill out, and you're like, oh, I got a whole bunch of Dasani waters, man. We're going to have a good time. You're probably not coming over to my house if that's what I'm offering,
You really want to spice it up? I think I have some club soda in there.
Yeah, but if I'm like, man, we're going to make some nice drinks. I got a cooler full of beer, whatever you want, but, man, it's
a social.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
part of the social fabric.
That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, technically, here, look. We are getting together in literally my little bitty man cave over here to do this every Wednesday night in front of you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, this is it's great. I mean, I've seen a lot of the stuff. I love the bourbon series.
Oh yeah.
I love the bourbon.
We got that coming back.
Yeah, dude. I even told him, I was like, you gotta let me know when this guy. I love the bourbon. I'll tell you, what I've started trying is, I'm big smoky old fashioned, guy.
Well,
right?
that's
one of the smoky one yet.
Well, we're the next series that we're going to have, the month of November, is going to be Old Fashioned Riff Month. And that's one of the old fashions that we are going to do is a smoked old fashioned.
Nice. Allie, by the way, chimed in. She said alcohol will keep those arteries open. Too much may affect the pump long term, though. I'm sure Derek would agree.
It's very true.
She's right.
There's a balance, That's kind of what I tell my wife, and I'm like, well, at least I don't have to take blood thinners. My blood's thinned out, right? So that's very true. But I'll tell you what I've kind of learned to switch, or not switch, but what I've tried is tequila smoky old fashions.
Ooh.
So
see, I'm just not a tequila.
I'm telling
you,
I'm surprised we got him to do this one.
You have to. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm telling you, I'm a big bourbon guy. Like I have, my little bar that I have at home is loaded with bourbon. I got like one bottle of some mixers or one bottle of something, but it's all like bourbon. And then in the middle, I have like Casa Azul. I have a big bottle of big bottle of tequila. But I'm telling you, it's really nice, man.
Urban bourbon.
It's urban bourbon. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm getting away from my country roots, but I tried it, and man, I tell you, and you don't have to just because of the way tequila, especially that one, or if you get a Casamigos, or I'm not a big Patron guy. I know a lot of people are, but I also feel too if you're going to do like a mixer, or you're going to have it. I'm not a Blanco. I like Reposadas per se.
Okay.
I think Reposadas
Got a little character to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. All right, absolutely. So I think it has a better kind of flavor profile to it. So what I'll do is you kind of get so used to the bourbon flavor, and then and I kind of have a little sweet tooth, and so I kind of like my bourbons a little, not like a traditional, I don't like them way too sweet. Well, what the problem is when I make the bourbon with the
Simple
tequila,
syrup
with the tequila, I'll still use the same mixture of my simple syrup. You can't do it. It will. I know.
It wrecks
it wrecks. So I'm trying to find a nice balance. And I found one pretty good a couple weeks ago, and man, it's not bad. So don't knock it until you try it. I challenge you guys both. Try a tequila.
It sounds to me like you need to come back and make that for us.
Oh, dude, I'll be more than glad to. I'll be more than glad to. I'll be more than glad to come and do it.
Now the other thing, should we tell them what we're making next week?
Sure.
It's an old-fashioned riff.
Okay.
And and you might really like it if you like bourbon, but you know what Calvados is? Applejack?
Applejack, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's half bourbon, half Applejack, cinnamon syrup.
That's
we
a Christmas
may have
kind
to
of
make
fall.
arrangements to have a fourth guest in here.
Yeah.
Because we said that Bill wanted to come in for one.
Oh well, we'll have four if you want to come back.
You get to meet the leader of my band next time.
Yes, he's playing in a band now.
Yeah, he told me that he's back.
Thank you.
I played the keys. I was like, man, that's awesome. I was stoked to kind of hear that. I think when I saw you last, and you kind of popped out a little bit of music that you guys have kind of been working on a little bit.
Yeah, so I was a clip.
A little clip, yeah.
When I got access to the drive.
Yeah. I was glad to hear that he was back doing it.
Oh yeah.
It's been like
I've been waiting a long time for that to happen.
Since I lived in Florida. I've been here for 17 years.
Yeah.
So this is.
Well, I knew that was like a passion of his, and like I'm glad to kind of see, you back, kind of doing it.
The best part is I was actually supposed to audition for these same guys when I moved to town 17 years ago, and life got in the way. It's about the time Aiden was born and all that kind of stuff, and just fell apart, and that's when I quit playing altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it takes up so much time.
In that same band.
So same guys,
yes.
Or different.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, same guys. That's what's kind of cool about it.
The main core is the same as it was 17 years ago.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah, it is
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we were saying
gig is Friday night. First gig in 30 years.
Very cool. As long as you wear that hat, man. You
gotta
wear that hat.
This is actually
That's a
yeah,
stage hat.
Yeah. This is a stage hat.
You gotta wear that hat.
One of my new stage shirts. This is my Halloween costume tonight.
okay. This is my Halloween
I
costume.
love it.
There you go.
It's my big red.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, 9 times out of 10, I'm on. I mean, you guys can't see me, baby, but I'm in scrub pants. But 9 times out of 10,
That's the only way I've ever seen
yeah.
you.
There's so many people. So many people say that. They're like, that's the only way. And I'm like, yeah, I swear I have. So I'll do dinners and stuff sometimes, and I'll be able to come to the dinners, and I'll have time to go home and maybe change, and I'll kind of put on some slacks and maybe a sports coat or something, and they're kind of like, oh my gosh, like who
Who are you?
Who is this guy? And I'm like, yeah, believe it or not, man, I do have
Real clothes.
I do have real clothes outside the scrubs, so yeah, it's just, it's just part of the life, it's,
Oh,
it's
no.
fun.
My mom
love
was
it.
an
I love
OR nurse, so that's almost the only thing I've ever seen her wear.
Right.
Yeah. She was in scrubs all the time.
Yeah, and my wife and family, they have all these holiday photos, because I always, me and my wife, we don't have kids, and, so I always feel that there's, if I have partners that work with me that do have kids, I'm always like, look, I'll take Christmas. You open presents with the kiddos
Sure.
and all, so I'll take Christmas call, and if we have patients on support, we go and see those patients in the morning, go around on them, make sure they're doing okay, and there's tons of and then a lot of times we may get called in, especially Thanksgiving, Christmas, people have those heavy salty meals, and then next thing you know they go down, but there's tons of pictures that like my family have over like the last 15 plus years of me in scrubs at Christmas time.
Sure.
But
Just or whatever.
I mean that's just part of it, man.
Well, speaking of that though, you're like overdue, dude.
For
You and the wife need to get busy.
oh no, we don't need any more Derricks running around. God said one is enough. We're good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we practice a lot, but I mean,
That's a good thing. You get props for that.
no, we kind of decided early on we're just
gonna have one.
No. We got cats. That's
Okay.
We have cats, man. We have cats. We thought about getting a dog, and we're both, because she's a medical device rep as well. So and she travels a lot more than I do. I mean, I travel my area, but she travels like out of state and stuff a lot with her company. And so the thought of us having even a dog, and be like, well, somebody else may have to come and what,
Cats are self-sufficient.
Cats are. Let me tell you, man, them cats though have fucked my life up a few more times.
Well,
Pardon my language, but I mean, dude, they've messed life up a few. She's like, well, we gotta go home today because I don't have nobody to feed the cats, and I'm like, those cats will eat each other before they die, okay? We got plenty of time. Those cats are fine. They'll break out of the house and go find food,
Well, great part about cats, you can just leave. You can literally leave them a huge bowl of food, and they
won't eat it all.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
the problem is we have like that when we thought about that, and we did it one time, and we have like literally a Garfield cat.
Oh no!
He's orange, like. He's big. He's probably like 20 pounds. I mean,
That's a big cat.
He's a big cat
Big
just
house
in general. But so we did that before. We're like, dude, if we leave all that food, his ass will eat all of it, and the other cat won't get it because he will just eat it all in like 2 days. So we found neighborhood. Then we found our neighbors now, and I'm kind of like, well, it's a good thing we. Neighbors have, codes again in our house and stuff to go, take care of our cats and all. And I'm like, all right, I'm like, whatever.
That's easy for a neighbor, though, too. Because cats are easy.
Cats are easy. Yes, you feed them and clean out the shitter, and you're good.
Good.
Yeah. We have two here. We have to put them up for Scott because he's allergic.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting is kind of like even, at our house, if you, depending on like where you keep them, and depending on like, and we have a little, one of those little robot things that kind of, always pop out.
The cat chasers?
No. Ours is like the vacuum thing.
Yeah, okay.
So, if you come, you would probably never know that because I have a handful of friends too that are like, allergic to cats and stuff. So, honestly, if there's enough of it that kind of gets, I'll start, like it's sometimes, she like will bathe them and like it's, we have to like, I'm like, they clean themselves, but she's like, well no, I do it for you because I know you have that. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah, no.
So she cleans
I
them.
just drug myself before I come
Well,
home.
she'll give them a bath, right? And it's interesting because you do that and you get rid of so much hair. Like, I mean, I just thought I would give her crap about it, but to be honest with you, man, it makes a big difference because you get a lot of their dander and a lot of their, because if you don't, I'll wind up petting the cat or whatever, and they'll jump up in the bed and go, I'll pet the cat and then like rub my eye. Next thing you know, my eye's running, I'm sneezing, and I'm like, these damn cats, get them off the bed, so.
Lee says, dogs have owners, cats have staff.
It's very true.
Very true.
That's very true. But I don't know what's worse, man. I've seen a lot of people walk in the neighborhood and they're just they look miserable. I've seen them at like 10 o'clock at night or later or in the morning walking them and they just look so miserable holding their little green bag and I'm driving by and they're like, they're holding the leash and the green bag and I'm like, you're literally walking the dog. It's cold or it's hot or whatever, waiting for them to shit so you can pick it up in this screen. I'm like, so I don't know really which one's worse, but
we have a dog here as well, but she's so good that we actually sit out there on the porch and she goes leashless and just hangs out right in this area where we are. She'll go out there.
We'll play fetch with her.
Right. We'll play fetch with her right out there. She just has a blast sitting right out there with us. We have people walk by and go, she's so good.
That's so perfect. We've seen these these videos of like where these people have like, and I think about my two cats and I'm like, dude, there's no way they could ever learn to do that. But the cats will jump up on the toilet.
Oh, and use
the toilet.
I don't know.
And I'm like,
I've seen that too, but they obviously, the people know how to train them to do that.
In 50 years of having cats, I have never been able to teach a cat to do that. Not that I've really tried, but how would you?
I don't know if you
I'm
start.
not a cat person.
I don't know if you start with like a bowl cut litter box and putting it on the toilet, maybe.
Maybe so.
I have no idea, and then you move that away.
There's got to be YouTube videos.
There's YouTube videos for everything. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
there's got to be,
including 3 guys sitting around having a damn blast drinking on a Wednesday night.
It's very
Yes.
Very true. Very
Speaking
true.
of that, though, it is time for us to go for this week. We will see you again next week for
I forget the name of that cocktail.
It's another Applejack cocktail. Bill, I know you're probably watching or will watch later. You're going to be invited in as well. Derek, you're welcome to come back with us.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me. It was
no.
awesome.
We're gonna continue doing this whether we're on YouTube or not. I mean,
right. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Every Wednesday, regardless. So you have an open invitation Wednesday, 8:30.
I love it, man. I know where the Mad Hatter lair is at.
There you go.
He has discovered the Sanctum Sanctorum.
The Sanctum Sanctorum, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have an awesome week. We will be back next week. Once again, thank you, Lee, for our custom clapboard.
Which we will change, put it up against their.
Yes, there's our tonight's thing for those of you that didn't see it before. Good night.
Thank you, everybody. See you next week.
Yep.